Welcome to the first episode of Adventure Deficit Disorder, where the two of us are going to try a new system each episode, trading off as the Game Master. I'm Justin Hables. You can follow me at Blargleshark on Twitter. Joining me today is Jacob Shadwick. You can follow him at timid_paladin. Let's get right to it. This week we're going to be playing Pathfinder. You find yourself in the underbelly of the festering shark, an old but sturdy pirate ship, waving the Shackles flag, the skull and crossed shackles on dark bluish-black and red checkered squares. The festering shark has a crew of 12 people that you've seen while you were trying to steal treasures that your informant told you were on board. However, you were caught. Turns out they haven't yet gone for the treasure that your informant told you they had.
Damn it, Conween, that's the last time I get bad information from you.
You've been captured by the crew and are being held in the hold, in makeshift cells. The hold being the secondary deck underneath the main deck.
Am I, shackled, I guess, at all, or am I just kind of...
No, okay. They just threw you into the cell in the hold. Let's see, they have taken your weapons, and do you have anything hidden on you, as they would have patted you down?
Probably my thieves' tools. I would imagine I have that hidden.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand check. Good start, 17. So that's going to be 25.
Okay. They do not find your thieves' tools.
There's only 12 of them, so is it safe to assume nobody's in the room watching me?
While you are in the cell block, you notice there is another cell down here with a goblin inside. The goblin looks as though he's been tortured for a long, long time. And once they threw you into the cell, the ship began to take off. So you now feel the sway of the sea as you leave Port Peril.
But there's no pirates guarding us, right?
No.
Okay. I'll say in his native tongue of Goblin, what are you in here for?
He doesn't respond.
Does he look unconscious?
No.
Okay.
He just looks like he's sitting in anguish and defeat.
Great. Last thing I need is a squealing goblin, so I'm gonna go ahead and retrieve my thieves' tools and obviously try and pick the lock and get the hell out of here.
Okay. Disable
device, and it's masterwork +1.
Give me a stealth roll as well.
Okay. So wow. Okay, that's a 26 on my disable device, and stealth is 22.
You manage to disable the lock, but as you're clicking it open or whatever, you hear footsteps of pirates coming down from the deck. They don't notice that you have unlocked the lock, but they go to the goblin's cage and unlock it, and they grab the goblin, and they say, "We're taking you to the captain. You're gonna tell him everything you know." And the goblin responds with, "I won't tell you where the Clawcooker Cache is. I'll die before I give it up. You're all dead anyways. No one goes into Skinny Whale Bay and makes it out alive." And then they drag him up the steps.
Alright, well, I'll give it a moment to make sure that they're actually gone. I don't want them to just double back. And then I'll go ahead and get out of my cell. Does this room conveniently have any of my stuff here, I assume, or do they?
No.
Okay. What's in this room?
You look around and it's wet and damp and kind of cold. There are crates in the back of this room, and there is some sort of doorway.
Okay, so there's some crates in
And there's some sort of room towards the bow beyond the stairs. The stairs are in the middle of the hold down here.
Well, I want to investigate the crates real quick, see if I can find any sort of makeshift weapon or whatnot.
Give me a perception check.
26.
Jeez, what are with your rolls right now?
They're very good. Don't worry, combat will be on the horizon soon.
Right. As you push the crates around, you notice, foodstuffs. There's barrels filled with potatoes and oranges and things of that nature. There's also some fish and things like that, pots, pans, what have you. As you push around the crates, you notice a trap door leading somewhere. There is also a small dagger, or like a knife.
I will definitely take the knife. I'll take an orange as well.
Don't want to get that scurvy?
Don't want to get that scurvy, And I'm going to investigate that trap door, because people went from the other, so I want to avoid people at the moment.
Okay. Opening it up, it leads down to clearly the bilge of the ship. So the bilge is an area underneath the ship.
I guess I should mention that I'm playing Mako, level 5 rogue, half-orc. Anyways, well, dipping down into it really quickly, is there other trapdoors that I can see?
No.
So this seems to be the only access to the village.
Right.
Okay. Well, that could be useful for later, still. Maybe I'll sink the ship later. Well, I'll go out, back into the hold, and I will creep towards the room closer to the bow of the ship, I guess.
Okay.
And put my ear up against it to see if there's anybody walking by or any sort of conversation happening.
Give me a perception.
22.
You hear beyond the door the sounds of snoring.
I'm going to very, carefully open it up and try and stealthily sneak by.
Alright. Stealthily, right?
Yeah, stealthily.
Roll stealth.
Okay. It's like I do so? Oh, okay. That's only going to be an 11.
Don't worry, he's sleeping. There's one guy, and he seems totally drunk, underneath his hammock. In this room, there's several hammocks. He's asleep under his hammock, and you see like empty beer glasses and things of the like, flasks and what have you, just sort of spilt around him.
Does he have a weapon on him?
No.
No weapon on. Okay. Does he have any of his gear in this room as far as anything like that?
There's a chest at the foot of each hammock, and in this room there are a number of hammocks. There's 6 hammocks down here, so it's probably some sort of sleeping quarters.
And he doesn't have any sort of keys on him?
No.
No keys on him either. Okay. How many doors to rooms are there here? Just one?
Just the one.
To the bow again?
Well, that's where you're at. You're in this room now.
Oh, okay. So I'm at the very bow of the ship.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so this level is essentially just cargo/hold and sleeping quarters.
Yep.
Okay. So there's some stairs in the middle of it, I see.
Yeah, that
and
go
then
up.
Okay.
To the deck.
To the deck. Okay.
And I've drawn the deck here as you snuck onto the ship in the first place.
Right. So I have a decent
Towards
idea
the stern of the
some...
boat is the steering, as well as some sort of probably captain's room.
Mm-hmm.
There is a mast in the middle and a smaller mast in the front. And then on towards the bow of the deck, there is another room where the steering is and the smaller mast at the bow and the stern. These are raised.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are the stairs that go down.
All right, so I know one sleeping quarters, at least 3 in the captain's quarters at the moment. So I got 8 other pirates that I'm not sure where they are. I'm not sure how high up I am. If I'm above sea level, is there like cannon ports, if that makes sense? That like can act as windows?
Yeah, there are several down here.
Okay.
By several, I mean 4.
So in the hold, is there any like spare rope lying around?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to grab some of that spare rope.
Okay.
I want to tie it to, I guess, my makeshift cell, if you will.
Okay.
And obviously have available. And I want to kind of like see if I can climb out the cannon port to see if I can get a sneak peek on the deck.
Okay.
Let's see.
How good are you at tying ropes?
I have a 1 in survival, maybe.
Give it a roll.
Okay. 19.
Hey, you tie the rope to the best of your ability.
To the best of my ability. The hold isn't even like nailed down to the wall. It just like slides out.
Hey.
All right. And then I square my way out through the cannon hole. I climb up to just peek over.
Climb up and peek. Give me a perception check.
23.
Nice. You see 8 dudes.
Okay, perfect.
Is what you count. 5 on the main deck. 3 more, or 2 more rather, at the bow of the ship, and 1 who seems to be steering at the stern. And everybody seems to be working the lines for the masts and sails.
Okay.
And the ship is going a considerable amount of speed.
It looks like I can't swim back to port, probably.
You look around and you see that you are far away from Port Peril at this point. You can't see land at the moment.
Alright, well, I want to shimmy my way over. Hopefully there's windows in the captain's quarters. I want to see if I can get a sneak peek into that.
Okay, give me a climb check.
13.
You manage to make your way, but it takes you a while, and then you finally realize as you're about the middle and shimmy your way towards the stern, you realize your rope is not long enough to make it towards the captain's quarters. But you do see windows from where you're at.
How confident am I in my climbing ability on this?
That's not a question for me to answer. That's definitely how confident is Mako at climbing?
Maybe a short adventure.
Just as you start to think that you're feeling confident, the ship seems to hit some sort of turbulent wave. Give me a climb check.
Okay. 27.
27. You hold your hand. You sort of fall off the edge of the boat, but you manage to hold where you were with one hand.
Do the waters look like it's getting rougher from here?
It does look like it's getting rougher.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and retreat back into the hold.
Okay.
Head back towards the hold.
All right, you head back into the hold. Give me a perception check.
17.
At this point, you've been at sea for probably a couple of hours. You shimmy your way back through a portal into the hold of the ship. You notice on the horizon some canoes that seem to be moving at quite considerable speed towards the ship.
Do I see what's inside the canoes?
You cannot at this moment. It's too far away, but you do see what looks like canoes on the horizon. And the ship is heading straight for them, and the canoes are heading straight at the ship.
Yeah, I'll go back into it. I'm going to go ahead and try and get some more information here. I'm going to go into the sleeping quarters where that drunk is.
Okay. You walk back in, door's still wide open.
I'll close the door as I go into that.
You close the door?
Basically, I'm going to have my knife out, and I'm going to just grab him by the mouth and just like hold it so he can't scream and everything.
Okay.
Try and wake him up like that.
All right, give me intimidate.
Scream, and the last thing you'll see is the red along my knife. That's going to be a 23.
He, wakes up with the knife against his throat and your hand over his mouth, and he sort of like wriggles a whole bunch and like slams the bottles and stuff that are about him. And he tries to say something, but he can't because you're covering his face.
Does he keep squirming, or does he eventually like?
He stops.
Okay.
Once you say your line.
I see canoes. I see we're meeting canoes on the sea. Do you know anything about that?
So I don't know anything about canoes.
Where are we going?
To the Clawcooker Cache.
The what?
The Clawcooker Cache.
What is that?
It's the Clawcooker Cache. Give me some sort of, do you have any knowledges?
Knowledge local?
Knowledge
dungeon, okay.
Knowledge local will work.
7. What is that?
You know the Clawcooker Cache. Well, you know a little about it.
Uh-huh.
You don't know everything. So, rumors have long existed of riches beyond the imagination littered in the reefs and bays of the Shackles. The Shackles being a series of islands south of the Maelstrom. The Clawcooker Cache is one of these infamous hoards, and it's rumored to lie deep within the volcano that lies on Skinny Whale Isle.
How do you know where the Clawcooker Cache is?
Well, it's with the goblins. Is this what the Clawcooker Cache?
Is that what the prisoner was there for? Information?
Yeah. She's a goblin. You've got to know what a Clawcooker Cache is. It's a goblin thing.
He doesn't seem like a very useful person.
He does look very drunk.
Mako debates for a little bit if there's any other questions that he wants to ask him.
The man rolls over and closes his eyes.
Oh. That drunk, huh? Alright, well, that beats having to break a bottle over his head. I'll go ahead and take him to the bilge, right? Through that trapdoor, so I don't have to worry about him.
As you start dragging him along, he, wakes up again. He goes, "What are you doing? Let me go back to my hammock."
Sure. Why not? We'll let him go back to this hammock.
He rolls over onto all fours and crawls back to the sleeping quarters and slams the door.
I'll try and catch it so it doesn't slam, but okay.
You catch it and it doesn't slam. You slowly close it and he clearly just goes back to sleep.
Employee of the month, everyone. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just stick my head out and try and wait for the canoes to be discernible as far as what they are or who's in them.
Okay, so you peek out the window. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 23.
They look like goblins.
Can I tell if they have any sort of, I don't know, war paint, flag, any sort of designation on them?
Give me
Skin color.
another knowledge local.
9.
You have no idea what these goblins are.
No idea.
And as you try to pinpoint what these goblins are and what these canoes mean, you hear the crew start to yell up above, "Goblins! They're everywhere!" And then, as soon as you hear that, the goblin canoes reach the ship and just ram into it.
Oh.
And you notice, sort of right below you, they're coming in. And they're just ramming the bilge of the ship. And then as soon as the canoes ram into the base of the ship, all the canoes jump, or all the goblins jump out and just swim away. And you feel it rocking one way, then you feel it rocking another way, so you assume that there are more canoes on the other side of the ship that you cannot see at the moment.
Do I see, like, sparks or fire coming from the canoes?
No, you don't, but they're piercing into the ship.
Oh, okay, thank God. I'm just like, oh shit, goblins!
So on the starboard side, you see 4 canoes just ram into the base of the ship and, open holes underneath. And then you hear the pirates saying, "They're ramming us! Captain, we're going down!" You see the water level seemingly rise to where you're at in the hold of the ship as water swells through the trap door of the bilge and the ship starts to lean one way and then the other. And
I gotta save that drunk.
Looks like it's going to capsize.
I go ahead and I slap awake that drunk and like drag him like.
Yeah. You splash water in his face and wake him up, and he's, "What's going on? What are you doing?
The ship is sinking.
Why is it sinking?
Goblins.
Goblins.
Does it matter why it's sinking? Come on!" I just like drag him by the scuff of his.
He grabs his flask off the ground and, as you pull him backwards, and he tries to fight you back for his cot, but suddenly the realization of ankle-deep water in the hold of the ship wakes him up, and you drag him out.
I drag him out. I'll go ahead and go towards the up the stairs to the deck of the ship. At this point in time, I think we can all agree we can all agree that there's more important things at stake. And I'll just observe the chaos of the deck.
You go up to the deck of the ship, and you see all the pirates trying to catch more wind in the masts and get away from these canoes, but the damage has already been done as these canoes rammed into the bottom of the ship, and the water slowly filling the ship is slowing it down so much that it's not really going anywhere.
Do I recognize that the ship at this point is lost?
Yes, damage has been done, and everybody seems to be freaking out. You see pirates grabbing crossbows and weapons and trying to shoot goblins, but the goblins are doing exactly what you saw. They're ramming into the ship and then swimming away.
I'll shake the drunk that I have and, where do you have my weapons? Where are my things?
I don't do that. I'm not the quartermaster. I'm not the first mate. I'm not the captain. I'm just the drunk.
Whoever the nearest not drunk pirate is, I'll basically toss him towards that guy to get his attention. Just be like, where are my things?
You throw the drunk down at the foot of a man who has a crossbow draws the crossbow towards you, and he says, "What are you doing out of your cell?"
Don't you think there's more important things happening right now? Gesturing towards the goblins and the sinking ship.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Give me my things, and I'll show you what I can do with them.
Give me a...
Diplomacy?
Or intimidate, whichever.
I'm going to go with intimidate if I get a choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
14.
He points to the bow of the ship.
I go towards the bow of the ship.
Right, there's a locked door.
Gosh. I give him the, raised shoulder, what the hell, man? Look.
He shoots the crossbow at a goblin, not at you.
Right.
He has
bigger
turned
things.
His attention away from you, as there are bigger fish to fry here.
Gosh. I'm trying to decide, does it look like it's going to be quicker to break this thing open, or if it's going to be quicker to try and, pick it?
Probably quicker at this point to just ram it open.
Alright, I'll go ahead and try and break it open.
Alright, give me a strength roll.
My knife and everything, ramming it.
Okay.
Gosh, that's only a 9.
You just try to ram your shoulder into the door, and it doesn't seem to work. Give me a disable device.
23.
Excellent. You take your knife and you shove it into the...
In between the metal and the wood?
Yeah, in between the metal and the wood. And then you ram the door again, shoving the knife deeper, and you hear the latch break. Your knife also breaks.
Ugh.
And the door flies open, and you are in what seems like
Armory?
an armory, a quartermaster's hold.
Alright, well,
Storage.
do I see my stuff?
Give me a perception check.
Only a 12.
Yeah, you see everything.
Great. I grab all my things.
You grab all your things.
Including my composite short bow and my arrows at the moment.
Nobody seems to be paying any attention to you as the ship's stern is now sinking, and the where you're standing starts to go up, and the angle is steeper and steeper.
The canoes.
All of the weapons and armor and whatever is in this storage area starts to just fall backwards towards the door that you came through.
I go out the deck. I, obviously use like the stairs and everything to like brace myself. Try and make my way towards the starboard side.
Okay.
Yeah, the canoes that are ramming into us, are they like broken in half, or are they just like good looking?
Some of the canoes seem to be okay. Some of them did break on impact. As you start to look over the edge at the canoes, give me a reflex save as weapons and stuff start pouring out of the doors. Barrels and crates on the deck start to fall.
25.
25. You manage to dodge around everything falling at you as the ship begins to sink.
Alright, well, I will dive into the water next to a canoe that doesn't look broken.
Okay.
And then try to be in said canoe.
Alright. Give me an acrobatics check.
Alright. 17.
You manage to dive directly next to a canoe.
Great. An unbroken one.
And it looks to be in fairly good shape compared to other canoes that are clearly broken.
Alright, well, I'll get in it. Is it like stuck in the hole?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll like...
And it's starting to tilt sideways as the ship is taking it with it.
I get in like a squatter's rower's position in the canoe, brace my like lower back against the seat if there is one, and
There's
just like
no seats in this canoe. It just seems like a crudely dug out canoe.
Well, I'll hold onto the sides of the canoe and just like try and push, like squat thrust off of the hull of the ship to try and like get it out.
Give me a strength check.
22.
You, with one big push from your feet, you slide the canoe out.
Awesome. Do they have paddles in this shit?
No. They seem to have ditched everything as they jumped away to swim back to shore.
Oh, there's a shore nearby?
Not that you can see.
Oh, okay.
But they swam somewhere. One can only assume the shore.
Is there like any sort of, plank or, the oars that they did have? Do I see that at all?
You can take... there's broken parts of the ship's hull from where the canoes had splintered in. So you can take, just random debris of planks and crates and whatnot. And
get some decent planks,
Okay.
Paddle-like
You
shape.
managed to get a little paddling thing.
Alright.
Give me a perception check.
26.
The goblins are swimming west.
Okay. I will, go that direction, but I'll also go a little bit, south, if that makes sense. I don't want to directly follow them.
Okay.
Make my way away from the sinking pirate ship.
Give me a fortitude save for paddling along with all your effort. Getting out of this.
15.
Alright, it takes you maybe a half hour or so before you see breaking through the clouds a tall peak of some sort of mountain and shore. This is south from where you were as you sort of start going southwest. And the goblins are continuing west towards something that you cannot see at this moment.
Distance matters. Okay, so I have a peak.
And then behind you, you see the festering shark sink. And the mast slowly descend into the water. Poor souls.
Oh, better than me. I'll adjust course so I kind of am still trailing the goblins, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And just, I imagine it's easier to paddle this canoe than it is to swim with all my stuff, so I'm going to
for sure.
continue on that way, at I wouldn't say leisurely pace, but I don't want to exhaust myself.
Following the shore to the south of you, towards the west, you see a second island, sort of northwest of where you are, and the goblins are clearly going to that island.
Alright, so I have a peak kind of to the south, and then I have where the goblins are to the
northwest.
Well, the peak is closer, I'll go ahead and go there.
Okay. You steer your canoe to the shore of where the mountain's peak is. Do you have a knowledge? What knowledges do you have?
Local engineering and dungeoneering.
Okay. Give me a knowledge local.
14.
14. You believe that this peak that you are at is the bellowing peak on Skinny Whale Isle, one of the many volcanoes in the Shackles.
It's a volcano. And I reach the shoreline.
You reach the shoreline.
And I'm not immediately attacked by other goblins or anything like that? Great.
You don't see anything. It seems fairly empty. You may see some crabs, some starfish, things like that on the rocks as you enter onto the beach. You are surrounded now by sand and tropical trees.
Is it like, tropical trees, is it like, pretty much, is this island, is it like just... Does it kind of get jungly?
Yes.
A bunch of oil?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to...
About 50 yards off the shore, the trees and foliage start to become very dense.
Great. I want to start dragging my canoe, beach it, and drag it into the foliage a bit.
Okay.
Find something kind of recognizable as far as like, oh, this tree's bent or whatever. I want to be able to, quickly identify where I am, where I stash it, and just cover the foliage. Yeah. I want somebody to steal my only canoe.
Right. You make a little shrine out of some foliage and
great
in a recognizable spot.
And I'll go ahead and trace back, double back with big leaf and kind of smooth out the sand from dragging the canoe on the beach. Right.
Give me a survival check.
Not smart enough to do that. 18.
You cover your tracks.
Perfect. Is this peak volcano connected to where the goblins were swimming, or can I even see that?
It is not.
It is not. Okay.
To your northwest is where the goblins have gone. You are on what you believe is Skinny Whale Isle, which means the boat has sunk in Skinny Whale Bay. And the peak of the mountain is to your south.
Do I see, or when I was canoeing out here, did I see any signs of, civilization?
No. These islands look all but deserted. Except for, the goblins heading northwest of you.
Okay. I think what I'm going to do then is lay low for now. Maybe, try and see if I can collect some fruit, hunt some crabs, something like that. Get some food. And then kind of at nightfall, when it would be easier to stealth canoe over to the Goblin Island.
Okay.
So that's my plan.
All right. Give me a survival check and a perception check.
Survival. 5. Perception. 25.
You have no idea what's edible and what's not from the foliage around here and fruits and whatever you can find, so you're very unsure of yourself. However, as you walk around and try to seek out food to eat and things of that nature, to your east there is a cave entrance that you find hidden behind some foliage.
What type of cave entrance?
It seems like it was crudely dug.
Okay.
As you look around it, it has like debris from old ships being used as like a scaffolding or structure of the cave.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll definitely stealthily investigate that. Just go into it very warily, cautiously, make sure that it's not like an ambush point set up, if that makes sense. Like the scaffolding's not going to fall on me.
Right. Okay. You walk into the cave.
Oh, well, I guess it's worth mentioning that I will also make sure to actually put on my leather armor and get all my gear actually attached.
Okay.
If it wasn't already assumed.
Right. So this is a dark, faintly lit cave. There are little fires spread around. They're not torches or anything. They look like somebody just lit some fires. It's crudely dug. I already told you the debris of old ships is being used as a makeshift scaffolding to keep the cave up. So
the fires are put out though, right? Or are they lit?
Some of them are smoldering.
Gotcha.
They don't seem like they've been tended to recently.
Alright, so it'd be kind of hard to tell. I'll go further in. I want to see try and figure out who or what inhabitants this tunnel. Do I have to like? Is it like narrow? Do I have to like crouch, or is it Can I actually stand?
It's a little short. How tall are you?
6'5".
You have to crouch a bit.
Okay, but not like hunch.
Yeah, well, you have to hunch a little bit.
Or sorry, not like bend over.
No, you don't have to crawl around. But
Gotcha.
these do seem like they've been built by something much smaller than you.
I go deeper in?
You go deeper into the tunnel. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 23.
You notice something that looks weird in the middle of the pathway. The ground is different.
Okay, like differently shaded or something?
Yeah.
All right.
But it's hard to tell, but you managed to get a gleam of it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just like I have a shovel on me, so I'll go ahead and just like poke at it with my shovel, like put myself flat against the wall and just.
Okay, you poke against it and it just falls away.
Pit trap.
Yeah, the whole way across. And deep below it, 10 feet deep, you see a number of spikes. But you manage to trigger the pitfall without falling.
How wide is it?
It is 10 feet wide.
10 feet wide. I probably can't jump because I have to crouch. How did they get over? Is there like a section of floor that isn't pit trap or something like that? Like on the sides? Or anything like that? Or like monkey bars or some shit?
I didn't think about this. There are monkey bars going across it.
Okay. I'll go ahead.
Or rather, thin ledge and handholds going across the side of the cavern.
I'll go, well, at least it's a sign of intelligent life. I'll go ahead and use the shuffle along and shuffle along.
Okay, give me acrobatics or climb or...
Acrobatics 22.
Yeah, with ease.
With ease, of course.
You manage to make your way across the ledge
Mako's
and go deeper into the cave. The cave forks. You hear the sound of water running to your right, and you hear the sound of sort of a strange whining coming from the left. Yeah, sort of a howling with laughter.
Am I able to like see if it's like animal or if I think it can I tell that at all or no?
Give me knowledge, dungeoneering, sure.
Okay.
That'll work.
24.
24. It sounds more humanoid,
That's
but
good.
still a bit animal.
All right. Well,
British.
I'll check out the whining on the left then. In that case, stealthily though, approaching.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
22.
Give me a perception check.
12.
12. Okay, as you make your way down here to the left where the wailing comes from, you trip on a wire that goes across the path.
Oh, damn.
From the ceiling, 2 swinging logs come by on either side of you. Does a 19 hit your AC?
It does, even with my trap sense.
Okay.
Oof.
Give me a reflex save.
Reflex with trap is 15.
15. Perfect. You take 1 hit from the log. You take a total of 4 damage. You manage to dodge 1 log. You get hit by the other log, and you hold your footing, and you don't go prone.
I, try and scamper past where they swing back again.
Yeah. So, well, you stopped 1 log straight up with your chest, but you managed to dodge the other one and not fall prone. The path once again forks.
Which direction does the howling laughter screams come
You
from?
hear the wailing coming to your right, and on your left you hear the sounds of some sort of like liquid moving.
Like a pooling noise?
Yeah, a pooling noise.
Okay.
And the sounds of crackling fires.
On the left.
Yeah, and from the right you hear more wailing.
I'm actually going to go left here if I hear like active fires and whatnot. That sounds like a camp to me.
Okay.
So I'll go left. And this time I will try and be more cautious of traps.
Give me a perception roll.
21.
As you make your way down the hall, you step on a pressure plate.
God damn it.
Give me a reflex save.
11, 13 for traps.
Oh no. Does an 18 hit your touch?
It sure does.
You feel a dart hit in the side of your neck.
No. Just one?
Just one dart.
Oh, no.
Taking 2 damage.
I quickly remove the dart. Does there appear to be any liquid on it besides maybe my blood?
Give me a survival check or a medical check.
16?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It seems sticky and smells funny.
Oh, no. That's bad. I take out my water skin and I try and wash what I can off of it.
Okay, give me, do you have any kind of heal? Give me an intelligence roll.
I do have a 0 heal if you'd like.
Okay, yeah.
9.
9. You have no idea what's going on, but you do feel something coursing through you. Give me a fortitude save.
Great. 17.
You seem to stave it off for now. So you power through it at the moment, but you're not sure what's going on.
These are some tricky traps.
Yep.
Alright, well, what is...
So moving into here, you see a large bonfire in the middle of the room. And around it, against the walls, you see spears aligning this cavernous space. Beyond, you see another hallway. Currently, there are several goblins hanging around. What was your stealth from before? I can't remember. 23?
Yes, I believe so.
They don't seem to notice that the trap was triggered coming into this room.
Do these...
You do see chained up in the back of this room some sort of ugly-looking, almost hound-like creatures. 2 of them chained to the walls.
Do they look similar or different from the canoe goblins?
They look the same.
They look the same.
You notice that the clothing they're wearing is very similar in color and style of the ones that were on the canoes.
Okay. I am going to take an educated guess as to what I'll find if I double back. But I'm going to double back and head towards the howling, laughter, screaming noises instead.
Okay.
And, just note that bonfire scene and probably head back to it in a bit.
You head this way, and it opens to another space. And in here you see, as you round the corner into this building, or into this cavernous space in the cave, you notice that there are sort of piles of things against the walls, and goblins coming in and out from the other side, dragging items slowly in.
Dragging items in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And goblins are coming in and out of this space.
Does it look like wreckage or anything like that?
Yeah. Various ship wreckage and things. And
there's howling laughter here? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just the goblins coming in and out, I assume then?
Yeah.
Okay. How many goblins does it look like is coming in and out? Like, is it just, a couple of goblins rotating, or is it just just like a horde of goblins?
You see about a dozen goblins making their way around, sort of in a line back and forth.
Okay. Mako puts his thinking cap on here. I want to double back to the wire trap with the logs.
Okay.
Right? I want to see if I can get that to reset. If I can, reset it myself here.
Okay. Give me a disable device.
20.
You managed to get one of the logs up into place, but the second one that hit you seems to have broken the mechanism.
Broken its mechanism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Its mechanism broke on impact with you.
Okay.
You can manage to get the one that you dodged back up into place.
Okay. Well, I want to just move that log off to the side and whatnot.
Okay. Cut it down and you slide it over.
I'm going to try and eavesdrop on the bonfire goblins a little bit to see if they tell me if I can get any information on just what the hell is going on.
So you sneak your way over. I'm still using the same stealth roll that you had from before.
Thanks.
The goblins speaking in Goblin start saying "Oh, Chieftain Boaz is going to be very excited with our latest loot." And then you hear another one going, "Yes, yes. He's going to love all of this stuff. We have new food, oranges, and hey, we even captured some of the pirates. These will be a perfect sacrifice." And you hear more talk of treasure and Chieftain Boaz and sacrifice.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a full, dungeon crawl exploration. I'm going to go back behind the wire trap. I'm going to go to where I heard the rushing water noise.
Okay.
Expecting a trap. Oh God, don't let there be an air trap. I trigger. And just to make sure, I want to cover all my ground here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll perception.
14.
Okay. Heading off towards the rushing water.
It's going to be the last straw, I swear to God. Swear to my God.
Give me a reflex save.
Yeah, goddamn it. Alright, 18 if it's trapped.
Alright, you hit a wire and you hear the sound of something clicking, and you have this instinctive thought to step to the side of the cavern against the wall and take a step back, and then from the walls you see an axe slide down and just stuff itself straight into the wall on the opposite side. But you manage to jump away from this one.
Do I hear any sort of reaction? Like, no scuttling?
You hear the sound of something from in here. You hear the echo of dogs growling and barking, and some sort of goblin saying, "Go! Check it out!"
I double back to the corner here, and I'll get, like, my composite bow out and an arrow, and I'll just, like, wait.
Alright, would you like to stealth?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to be stealthy if I can. 22.
You see 2 goblin dogs run past you, and then one of them stops.
Like, turns its head, stops?
Stops, turns its head sort of towards where you are, puts his nose up, and looks right at you.
I fire.
Will his arrow hit the mark? Will he find out what's going on in these caverns? Will he find the Clawcooker Cache and keep it all for himself? Find out on our next episode. Until then, you can follow me, Justin Hables, on Twitter at BlargleShark, and you can follow Jacob Shadwick, my player, on Twitter at timid_paladin. See you next time.